Hello. Hi, everyone. Corrie Thorne, the spiritual teacher, psychic medium, mystic, channel, founder, and creator of More Than Existing. Welcome to my page. If you are new, thank you for stopping in and listening and being a part of this. Tonight is a office night and was not planning a live, was not in the plans. So coming in barefaced. So just waiting to see if we have anyone here. I am broadcasting on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So just letting people join in. Coming in for a quick visit. Hello, Brittany and Beth. Hello. Just coming in for a quick visit. Hello, Kevin. Kevin, you popped into my mind the other day, Kevin. I was doing something, working with like the out there energy, the beings, and you popped into my mind, Kevin. So I don't know why, but you popped into my mind. I'm like, oh, I wonder how Kevin is doing. So know that the guides are thinking of you. Oh dear. Okay. Felicia, hello. I don't call anybody. Just so you know, I don't call anybody and I don't message anybody. Uh, Destiny, hello. Tracy, hello. Ronita. Uh, I crossed your mind earlier today. See, it's a sign. Um, hello, Raju. I think that's how you say. Tracy, uh, Shaiva, hello. Natasha, hello. Did you get your book, Natasha? Did your book come? You're welcome, Kevin. It's always nice to know we're being thought of, right? It really is. It is so nice to know we're being thought of. So, welcome, everyone. So, we do have a lot of people very quickly. So, yay to that. So, I will get started. I'm just trying to bring up on my phone because sometimes the messages go a little glitchy. So, let me bring up on my phone. I know that's always not the best thing to do, but that's how it is for today. So, Deidre, hello. Corlie, hello. Natasha, I got my book and my new glasses yesterday, so this week is reading time for me. Yay, good. I hope you enjoy it. For anyone who's wondering what book we're talking about, if you have not seen, I know I talk about it lots, but I am kind of like this proud mama. So, and some of these apps I can't flip the book around. So I can't flip the wording around. So it's My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. Oh, Amanda, you're so welcome, and I will get your recording out to you too late when I'm done here. And so this is My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. It is the second book in my series of books that are to come. And the first book is More Than Existing. For those who don't know, these are the two books that are out. So, and I noticed I have a little pen in here, a little clip in here of something that I was reading and it's okay to do this to your books. Just saying, if you get my books, it's okay to take a highlighter and mark up your books. These are spots that you just seem to go back and revisit. I do this to all of my books. I do this in my Oracle card books. I do this everywhere where there's stuff that resonates with me. And when I'm moving my hand across them with a highlighter or something, I tend to remember exactly what that was. And sometimes those aha moments and rereading it. So we perceive a statement one way, and then, as our energy shifts, as our emotions change, we also read it differently again. So nothing is ever the same. You can read it 100 times and the book will never be the same. That's one beautiful thing about these books. They're channeled. So the messages change every time that you go back and read it again. So yeah. Yay. Thank you for dropping in for a wee little bit, Raina. And good evening, Tracy. I just started reading your More Than Existing, loving it, and going to get the second. Yay. Thank you, Tracy. Hello. Hello, Daniel. Danielle. And so it's funny because I'm reading Danielle's name and then a Daniels comes up. Some with the last name Daniels come up on the bottom. I'm like, uh, Felicia, I wasn't in the last live, but I rewatched after and seen the card you pulled from my friend. I was bawling. Aw, thank you. I'm so glad the cards help. Okay, so this is the energy. We have a lot of energy. We have a lot of retrograde energy that is preparing to release, to let go, to move and shift. So planets are moving and shifting. Now, Raina is the astrologer in here. I am not, but we do have the retrograde. I read energy, which means I can read the planetary energy that's happening and what is happening through the world. I can feel, see, hear everything that is happening. And so there is this energetic shift that is taking place, and that will be October will be the big shift, especially coming into the end of the month. We are in Scorpio season. We do have an Aries, I think, full moon that's going to be coming up in October as well. We just came through the fall equinox, so now we officially are in fall. I have surrendered summer and I've let go of the summer. Yesterday was 27 degrees here though, but that was lovely. So we are, we do have a lot of this, we have a lot of this energy. And there's also, I myself have several friends that are going through big shifts and changes in, having and experiencing losses in their lives right now. And, the family dynamics changing due to losses in their lives. And, those things change us forever. That's the forever changes that happens. Danielle, I just started astrology school. Oh, yay! That's on my list of things that when I have time, I will do. Um, and so, if you've been feeling the Mercury retrograde, I get these random messages from people that I don't always respond, and it's like, God, I'm so sluggish, or I'm really struggling. Like I feel tired. And sometimes it's like friends and stuff, and they're like, I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I don't know why. I'm like, I can tell you why. You just keep looking at that it has to be something wrong with you, but it's not. It's something that's happening in the energy. Remember, we are all energy. Always remember that. We are all energy. Oh, and by the way, my book is available on Amazon. So if you want to really support me and my work, that you can purchase my books on Amazon. Both of them are there, More Than Existing, and this one as well. Just punch in Corrie Thorne. I know it's backwards. Corrie Thorne, and you will get the book. And so, yeah, we have a lot. Just wondering if you feel anything from me going through a low energy times. So I'm not actually picking up anyone in particular. It's actually it's the energy of the collective is what I'm picking up. And so it is the energy of the collective that we're picking this up from. And we can all be very unique and authentic and still have similar experiences happening within our lives. It's so random. So, for myself, several big things have shown up this week that have really like knocked me off my little flow I was in. It's like I'm just, you just up here and then you just get knocked down. And the way that you have to look at those moments, that come in when you're up here and then something feels like it's taking you down here to where you previously were, you always have to remember the new experience may feel like an old experience, but it is not the old experience. So the same thing is not happening. And so how you respond to it is then by really saying, this is something new. This is not old. I'm not in the old repeat. You go to the past memories, the past experiences, expecting the same outcome, expecting the same thing. But you've probably done a lot of healing work or made a lot of changes. You've probably experienced things before that now you have wisdom that you can use in the new low energy, that you can bring into the new low energy that helps you to be able to kind of rise yourself up, to be able to do that self-healing, that self-realization that we need to do sometimes. Yes, Corley, that hurricane was crazy in the East Coast. I do have family who live in the Port aux Basques area as well. And of course, my partner's family is from PEI area. Yeah, there is so much. And so in my past few months, in my past few lives or my past few YouTube channeled messages, I channeled these storms coming. I channeled these storms. These storms have been in my messages, and I could see these big storms coming in, and I could see them really hitting. One I seen hitting somewhere in the south part of the United States, and yeah, so already, we can feel this happening long before they happen, but we can't stop it. You can't change them. You can't change a hurricane from coming, right? Even though we can feel it, that any of us that can really feel energy, we can feel it, we can predict it all we want, but we can't change it. And my heart just goes out to everyone affected. One of my friends, they lost a couple homes, they lost a lot of their farmland, like just so many things that they're just trying to repair and fix up right now. So my heart goes out to everyone. Yeah. So I want to just come in and I wanted to come in and just do a couple cards that were for this energy and to move into this weekend. And tomorrow is Truth and Reconciliation Day for the Indigenous community and for all of my people and all of my dear friends and all of everyone who has truly been affected by all of these things that it wasn't something that was unknown, but when things finally get exposed and seen for what it is, and we finally can have a voice and have voices be heard. So, honoring tomorrow and taking time in that day. I am of the Mi'kmaq First Nations community. I am Indigenous myself. I am blended in diversity and love, that I say. And I think many of us in our families have been impacted and affected by, these old ways of racism, old treatment, like treatments of of people, and discrimination that was used. And there's just so much to it. And so my heart, my love, and my prayers go out to everyone. I will not just only be wearing my orange shirt tomorrow, I will be holding that light and that candle, and knowing that we can be the change, and we need to be the change that comes forth into our future. So so the first card that came out for us for this was the Knight of Wands, and that takes us into being able to kind of, how do I see this? Lighting. How did I see this card? I don't want to, it's not the meaning so much of the card itself. It's the message that I have coming through. You as well, Reese? Yeah, you can feel those storms. And you still have no power, Corlie? Wow. Crazy. It's so crazy. Okay, so I have the Knight of Wands. I have to go with another card to go with it. Hold on. Two cards. Okay, so I have the Knight of Wands that came out. And the first thing that came to me with this card was I just felt this need to, even though the card feels like it's like a moving forward in some way, I felt a need to kind of I felt a need to step back. And that's what came up to me. I felt the need to step back and to kind of step out of the way. So what I'm feeling of this is sometimes so many things are out of our control, and that we can't control, we can't stop things from sometimes happening that are fated. Sometimes we have to move out of the way, and we have to allow in, like, our knight in shining armors, which is the divine intervention, which is the spirit, which is the spirit of the angelic realm. It is that of our spirit guides, our guardian angels. And so the reason why I chuckled and what pushed me back was the second card came out as the crows taking the cherries from the tree. And I experienced my own experience. And so this one is the Three of Pentacles. And this Three of Pentacles really talks about our earthly energy, right? Like that right here, that material world that we exist in. But the story that came up and the energy that came up was a couple days ago. So when we return to this card, and I think about the divine intervention, like getting out of the way. Sometimes we have to get out of the way and we have to let the divine. So the situation that even arose in my life over the past few days, it's out of my control. There's nothing else I can do. I've done everything on my part, and I've had to call in the guides and the angels. I've had to ask for the beings from the other realms, which led me into a journey, which I want to share after, which will speak about what I'm wearing right here. And so, but yes, 2 days ago, I have this big tree in my yard, and it's called like a 3-in-1 tree. And of course, that's a man-made tree, but it's bred 3 different kinds of trees together. Well, it has these big plums on it, these big golden plums. And now they're turning like a rosy color, but they're called Brooks Golden Plums. And so I was looking at the top of the tree and thinking, I really would love to have some of those plums at the top of the tree. Now listen to this. So I was looking up and I'm like, oh, those plums are so ripe and they're so big up there. I would love to have some of those plums, but there's no way for me to get them. I don't have a ladder high enough, and they're so far in the middle of the tree. There's no way. It's an impossible task to get them. So I don't know how to get them, but who knows? Maybe somehow these plums will come to me. So I go the next day, and I had given up on the plums, and I just picked the plums on the bottom part and put them in the house, and I was quitting because I didn't want to pick no more plums. But something said feed the birds. The moment I pulled the bird feed out of the house and out onto my patio, out onto my deck, a plum dropped right in front of me. Then another one. And as I start shaking the bag and scooping out the bird feed, more of the plums from the very top start to fall down. I start filling up the feeder, and another plum falls in the feeder. I look up, and there's a blue jay up at the top, and it's pushing down the plums to me. It's like literally hitting the plums or pecking at them and knocking the plums down on me as I'm feeding this blue jay. All summer long, I have fed these blue jays peanuts and food and everything else. Well, this blue jay, every feeder I would go to, this blue jay would drop the plums from the top that I didn't know how I was going to get to the plums. I didn't know how I was going to get the plums. But the blue jay, whether it knew it or not, or it was a messenger, it was dropping plums down to me. So I got a big bowl of the big plums that are on the top that I didn't know how I was going to get them. Well, that's the divine intervention. Sometimes we just have to ask when we're in a struggle, when we're in a low energy, when we don't know how to solve something, when something is out of our control and we can't find that solution. I don't know. And by just honestly saying, I don't know, the Blue Jays knew how to get them to me. There was a way. So there's always a way. But sometimes the way for us to get to where we need to go, or to get the things we need, or to be able to solve the problems or the difficulties or the obstacles that are in our way, are out of our control. But it is not out of the control of the divine. And so this first card that pushed me back was like that knight in shining armor. When you turn on that light of faith and hope within you, when you hold on to that faith and speak to the divine and just say, I don't know, but you know. So it's like, I would love to have that, but I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to get that. So here I am underneath the tree, picking up all of these plums, and I'm laughing. And I'm laughing so hysterically with me and a blue jay. And I'm like, thank you. You found a way. There was a way. There was a way for me to get those. And just like I would say to the birds all summer when they dropped their food all over the ground, like, you guys got to eat that food off the ground. Like, I just filled that up and you knocked it out. Now you're going to eat off the ground. It was like I heard the blue jay say, and now you have to pick them off the ground. I did my part. Now you pick them up. And it was like, they got them to me. And then I had to put the action in to pick them up and bring them in the house and bring them into my life. And that's kind of everything in our lives. But when we move out of the way, so what we're being told is that we sometimes often have to move out of the way, surrender over that control. Because the only way for us to live in that sense of peace and to find that sense of real joy, there's so much joy in those divine intervention moments in our lives that we live in such awe. I've written a whole book about it, about those divine interventions in our lives and those moments that happen. And the book is literally called, and I have got all this in copyright and stuff now, and it's You Can't Make This Shit Up. You just can't make it up, that these moments do happen, but you have to move out of the way. And sometimes you may be that person who steps in. You may be the blue jay in somebody else's life at some point. You may be the person who steps into somebody else's life to be the messenger. You may be the angel on earth that's sent into somebody else's life when they don't know where else to turn, where they don't know where else to go. You may be that, or it may be this out here, or it may be from the realms that you just don't know. So there's much energy out there today. And so today I'm like having a moment. I'm so upset. I'm driving and it was like I was doing really well. And then right in the middle of the day, something else just threw me. And I'm like, why? Why is this again? I've done everything. Why is this here? And I found myself driving to the Red Deer Rock and Gem show. And I'm looking around, you know, how you're trying to find that right little thing, just that right little thing. You just want it. First, when I walked in, I seen a heart and I'm like, oh, that's it. That's what I want. I'm like, no. And then all of a sudden, I seen this lady standing up and she looked just like my friend, who is also my Reiki master teacher for me. And I'm like, you look like my friend. And she said, I'm also a Reiki master teacher. And she said, and who are you? And I stopped and I picked up this set of beads that she had. And so this set of mala beads. And I started to tell her how I had a set of shaman beads that some woman randomly walked up to me after I spoke in Austin, Texas, and said, I have these beads that I have been carrying around for 3 years, and I've been saving them for the right shaman to walk in. You're it. And she gave me those beads. When I was teaching this winter, the beads broke and went all over the floor in the hotel room. I didn't find another set. So I seen these beads and I said to her, I said, oh my God, I love these beads. I said, what is this? What is the stone? And I knew what it was, but I just wanted to, hear her story. And she said, it is mermaid glass. One of my greatest teachers is dolphins. I actually teach about the realms. And I'm just like, I can't put these down. And she said, I made these 3 years ago and I've had them at everything for 3 years and nobody has picked them up and bought them. She said, many people have touched them, but put them back. 3 years ago, I made these and I've been carrying them ever since. When I looked up the beads, one of the stories they tell about the healing properties was actually a Mi'kmaq story. And the mermaid is that guide. And the mermaid is one of those guides from the middle world. The same with the trees, the same with the blue jays. They all tie into that Mother Earth energy. That's as powerful as the energy that's out there. That's as powerful what's out there to help us. And these beads, I'm like, I couldn't put them down. And I knew, and I left her card downstairs. Such a beautiful lady. I will share her information later. But these beads then became my beads. Why are they on this side? To be of service. When not of service, they go on this side. And so here I am with my mermaid beads tonight. I came home. I had a beautiful session. I got to meet somebody else who was so beautiful and amazing. And it was just, I moved out of the way and I can't do anything else. But what is at the deep sea of all things, what is above all things, there is something of greatness that can truly help us. Yesterday it was the Blue Jays. Yesterday it was the, that came in and got me those plums. Something can always be there to help us. So yeah, always feed always feed the birds, the crows, the everything. I have a bunch of crows on my roof as well. And I've been feeding the crows all summer and all of the birds. And so, yeah. Yes, the druids. Yes, exactly. Right. So there is so much magic there for us. And so magic is very alive right now. We have this active magic energy that's happening. And, using and being able to play in that magical energy is so important in moving and shifting the energy. So there is something at play that I'm going to say that it's like bringing in miracles. And I feel like we are existing in miracles. So besides the Knight of Wands, it was 3 and 3. And that's why this card came up, was to really look at, there is a way, finding that way. There is, it's like one, two may not be able to do it, but there's always a third. So it's us. And there's always that third way. It's mind, body, soul connection, right? And that sense of there's something greater than us that can always get there. And when we release control, we allow ourselves to open up for guidance, for assistance, for what is needed. I'm listening, by the way, so I'm pausing because I'm actually listening. And so then we have the Three of Cups, which comes into that sense of that emotions, another 3. So we have the power of 3 that is coming in, and this power of 3 energy. And this feels like, for me, this sense of, knowing that there is more than enough. And I have another story that goes with these yellow little daffodils, but there's always, when you look at your life and you look at the synchronicity moments, the moments that you just, it's like, how did that happen? You know, how did that take place? Or how did that step in? The guardians, the guardians, the guardians. Those guardians are so powerful, and they're ours. But here's what we forget to do. They will not often step in until we learn to ask. When we learn to ask, we have to ask for assistance. We have to ask for guidance. And when we learn to ask, we learn the power of asking instead of keep trying to do it on our own, is it will come in. In one way, we might not get what we want, but we get what we need. Perfect timing to enter the door when we release control. Yes, a continual conversation. Um, and so there is many things that really takes place. And it is about being honest with ourselves sometimes. What is it that I really, really want? And so then on the bottom of the deck, the underline brings us into the 9 of Cups. And so we are we are in water season. We are back into that water time. We are in that water energy. And so I actually posted the YouTube weekly message this morning, and I spoke about the Master Manipulator card in my deck. And it spoke about about manipulation, but all manipulation is not a bad, we have that sense of being a manipulator is a bad thing. But sometimes to be able to manipulate, to be able to move, to be able to make changes, to be able to mold, to create, right? To be able to manipulate the energy. So the definition and how we define it and how it impacts us, how it triggers us, right? How it brings about that change. And so water is one of those things that can be in so many forms, and it can do beautiful things, and it can be chaos. And so as Corrie, who's speaking of the storm, and whoever else was here that was also speaking of the storm, the hurricane, I am from Newfoundland. I know the power of an ocean. And everyone's like, oh, the ocean's so beautiful and the ocean is so pretty. And I'm like, the ocean is a bitch. The ocean is, yes, it's powerful. Yes, but you have to respect that ocean. It is chaotic. It is dangerous. It can change in the blink of an eye. It can go from being calm to being your worst nightmare, right? There is just so much that is tied up into there, but respecting and staying, far enough in its distance, or honoring when the warning comes, when we get, if we get a warning, to stay back, to move back, to shift. Now, if you want to live next to water and you want to be at probably guaranteed that you're not going to have any problems from the water, maybe a little brook, maybe have a little stream around you. Living right on the ocean, we know there's a possibility that shit can go sideways when we live next to an ocean, that anything could happen, that it is out of our control. But it's the cost, it's the price we pay for living next to something that is so beautiful in so many other ways. And if you want to live in a more safe way, live next to a brook, right? Something that is going to be a capital B. Yes, Corrie, right? And it's like, and live next to a brook. Live somewhere where you watch the trickle, you hear the water, create your own ponds, those type of things. but knowing that you can move that water. And so our emotions are the same way. Our emotions can be the same way. And it takes sometimes shifting our own mindset. So this is the nine of emotions, nine of cups. And so everything is there. And everything, it's like you may not have a whole or have it all, but you got your share, you got your piece. Like there's just so much happening. And so what I'm getting with this card, what this card is intuitively giving me is that sense of, you know, we have this gamut of emotional response, and it's up to us to shift the mindset on how we are going to respond. Do we let it take us all the way back and unravel all the way back to a past, or do we look at from where we are and we say, okay, I already got this far, or I got this much. And so shifting the mindset also then shifts our emotional response. We release the trigger. We take away the fuse that triggers us. And when it can no longer have the same emotional response, is that we know that if we breathe into it, acknowledge it. This is not the past. This is not the past situations. This is not where I am. I need to be my own knight in shining armor. I have to be the one to step in. I can do this. I have all the tools. I have all the wisdom. I have gained a lot of wisdom. What can I do? And that's where we flip that mindset. So we have to break up with, surrender over, retire from the old ways, the old emotional response, and the old habits, and breaking free of the old habits so that we can be a part of that shift that we really want to make and really want to be in our lives. And so it's up to us. But knowing that is also knowing that with that comes an ending. So 9 is that one step closer to an ending. But what do we need? What is that final piece that we need to have an ending? If we fear the ending, if we can no longer then give ourselves the rite of passage to be a victim, to live in survivor mode, like to really move beyond that, is that we're surrendering, breaking up with the response to say of self-sabotage, of always being a victim, and saying not this time. So we have to be open, and we have to allow ourselves to be open. And that's how spirit works with us. That's how our loved ones work with us. Our messages from our loved ones are not for us to continue to suffer. That is the suffering's what we do to ourselves when we guilt and shame ourselves, when we sit in the blame and the shaming and all of that energy. When we want somebody to be so responsible, we want somebody to, we want someone to pay, including that somebody could be ourselves. But that's not what spirit, what the guides, what the angelic world, what our loved ones, what our elders, what our ancestors, that's not what they want. They want us to use the experience as wisdom, bring it back and use it as wisdom to bring change, to do things better than we did before. And our history allows us to do that. And the final piece is us being a better person than we were the day before by not allowing ourselves to respond the same way we would have in the past. For us to look with eyes wide open at new perspectives, new ways, seeing things in different ways, observing in different ways, and being honest with ourselves. And just saying, I'm not my past. But nobody is their past. And nobody is the past experiences, even if it looks like they are. We are all existing in the experience that we're in right now. And this is where we are. And that's what that's one of the biggest messages that they tell me from the other side. Always is, I wish I had let go of control. I wish I had not have held on to that story. I wish I had just lived. I wish I didn't worry so much about my OCD, about whether or not the house was spick and span, and that I had lived. I wish I didn't wait for someone to pay the price for something. I wish I had let go and trusted. I wish I could have let that anger, that hurt go. And that's some of the biggest messages that they bring forward to us. And so that sense of it's us that stands in our way, and we are the obstacle that gets in our own way because control runs deeper. And it goes way deeper than that experience. So there's just so many things that require us to be open, to be a willing participant, for us to use our voice, to ask, to have the courage to ask, for us to move and shift out of the way. And to know that when you ask for something to happen, like the getting the plums from the top of the tree, I don't know how I'm going to get them, but I would love to have some. I would love to feel freedom. And so what I wrote in my journal this morning was actually freedom. When she put this on my hand today, she said, "Do you know what this mermaid represents?" I said, "What?" "Freedom. When I created this was for freedom." And I said to her, I asked for freedom this morning because I cannot exist in whatever that karma is, whatever this old energy is, whatever this is that keeps kind of getting there. I need to be free. And I am asking and praying and doing all the things, and said, I don't know. And I don't know how to fully sort it out. And then a clear message came today and said, you have to also, to be free, you have to trust people to do the things in your life that you don't have the capability to do. Boom. Right? And so in my teachings last night, I'm like, who better to teach us to be the better human being than the one that existed in our history? You, your own self. Nobody else existed in your history. So if I hear this come from someone else, I know it came from the same place. And so it's your history. You are the one who lived your past. So who better to help you evolve to be the better human being than you? It's that space in between of silence, of not being, of having the courage to step aside and let in this beautiful energy. Because I can tell you, they're here with us tonight. And they're here big time with us tonight. And I'm like, oh, I don't even have my eyebrows on. I don't have my face on. They're like, you don't need that face on. You just need to be the light, be the messenger. So whoever this message is for, know that, yes, September has been her own biatch in so many ways, but there's also been a lot of gems. There's also been good, but there's also, we're moving. This is water energy. We're in the flow. Storms come in, things happen, but also old washes away. But we're also in the season of harvest and reaping the rewards of our own wisdom. What have I learned from the past? What have I learned from previous experiences? And reaping the rewards of that in such a beautiful way. And notice that, and then, noting that we are preparing for another season, but that season is not here yet. So October gives us the opportunity to reap some of these rewards, to really truly know that we have put in some serious work. Many of us have, to do what we need to do. And so knowing that when a low comes, it is not your past low, it's a new low. It's a new experience. It's an energy. And you have the wisdom because you have experienced past experiences that have given you the wisdom to deal with those lows. That wisdom's there. And when we can't, we move aside and we ask, I would love some help down here. I surely need some assistance down here. I need some guidance. And doing it with gratitude. When you ask for you, ask for the world. When you ask for you, ask for the world. Whatever I ask for me, I also ask for the world. I ask for everyone because we are all worthy of this. We just have to remember we're worthy. And so that's our message. That's what I got for you. And I hope that it does help you in some way and it resonates. Reese, if you don't ask, it's like getting in a car and expecting it to just take us where we want to go. Exactly. You have to put in the request. You have to be able to learn how to command your own power of I am. You have to learn how to command that energy with love and respect. The most beautiful thing that ever has transpired in my life is to learn what it means to sit in divine humility, to learn that those gifts that we have, the power of our own gifts, were first created for us, and how to use those gifts with a pride and not arrogance, a pride in knowing that, this is a blessing, and that we have this blessing and we have this blessed life that is ours to choose, this divine life to choose. But we have to learn how to command it with love and gratitude in order to use it properly. You live on top of the spring, Danielle. Oh my God, Danielle. So, okay, Danielle, I have to say this. You know who I think is with you? I think you have, I think you have Archangel Daniel with you. And I just had this memory of being somewhere where you were, and Archangel Daniel came in somehow, but I feel like it was in a person somehow. I don't know. And I'm like, Archangel Daniel. I love Archangel Daniel, and I haven't worked with Daniel in so long. That's interesting. So it's like, yeah, there's something around there. I want you to look that. I want to look you to look that up for you. Yes, at Oracle Palooza. And oh, I remember there was a gentleman there. And when he first seen me, he didn't like me. He said, and then I went upstairs and changed, and I got back into my comfy stuff, and I come down. I was just in such an energy at the time. And I was in a, oh, Danielle, I was in a moment when I got there. And then I was just like, and when I went up and changed and I came back, I'm like, I can't change what's happening at home. I have to leave that, and I have to let myself be here. And I had to work with him. And his name was Daniel. Right? And my room number, yes. I've been talking about Oracle Palooza all day in Austin. All day long. So something of that time is back with us again. That's interesting. Yeah, so much is happening. Felicia, I think they enjoyed bothering me though. Flickering lights. I couldn't sleep last night because I could hear footsteps all night. I don't know. They're just trying to tell me maybe this. Yeah, they're just, they are just let go. Just stop trying to be in control. Just surrender over. They're there. They are with us. And sometimes it is that those things that we keep in the conversation of, trying to figure out if people are okay, if everyone is okay. They're okay over there. They are fine. And our own weapon of our own emotions that can cause us our own chaos. For them, it is a different energy. It's a different, they leave all of that self behind. The human goes, and the human is done. That soul takes its wisdom, its information, and brings it back, and they give us those holographic views and images of what they were to us and how much they cared for us, and they ask us to care for ourselves the same way. Really making you think tonight? Good. I think this is for me. I swear it's been a month of so many highs. Yeah. So these messages are for everyone. Hello to everyone who's joining in as well. Tina, I received a spam text from Austin, Texas 2 nights ago. The message said help. Maybe I understand now. Ah, interesting. There's magic that was in Austin, Texas. A lot of magic in Austin, Texas. So much crazy stuff happened. It was so crazy. And all of these bats were, made a home underneath the hotel where we were. And we got to watch all these bats come up. But it was a pivotal turning point in my life, too. Yeah, so there's something about this energy shift that is very similar, not the same experience, but very similar. So we have the tools to know how to do the things we need to do. feeling blocked or blank. So Corlie, you may, feeling blocked or blank. What obstacle? Are you the obstacle that's standing in your own way? Right? Is it your own story? Is it your own narrative? Are you your obstacle? Is it something is it a fear story? Is it insecurity? Is it a stubborn energy? Is it something that we're holding on to? Is it anger? Is it frustration? What is that energy? And what has that hold? Right? And so because maybe it's something that you can't remove or you don't even know, it might be something from another lifetime. It could be tied into an old karmatic relationship from another lifetime. Could be so many things. Ask those guides, ask your guides, ask the angels, ask them to remove any obstacles of this lifetime or other lifetimes that hold you back. Ask Archangel Michael to come in and to cut those cords that are like bondages and remove any energy of old relationships that have a tie. If you have a collection in your life of old relationships that you just keep holding on to, the just in case, so that you can feed the stories of what people did to us, how they hurt us, or all those things, you really need to release them. You need to set people free. By setting people free, you're setting yourself free. By holding people bondage and hostage to the story and to that energy, it also holds you. It weighs you down. Releasing, surrendering, letting go. Asking Archangel Michael to help you. Yeah. Yes. And so a lot of flashes of memories that would be coming up as well with everything that we've had happening. You'll be flashing back. You're getting past memories coming up, experiences, and it's coming because it's trying to like detox, trying to leave. So that's our message. Well, hello, Leanne. And Reese, you're welcome. Don't let them take space in your brain. Exactly. Don't let them take space in your brain at all. Don't let them occupy space, right? So setting that energy free sets you free. And it's the same thing with that sense of forgiveness. Forgiveness is not for the person. Forgiveness is so that you can really truly forgive yourself for thinking that you had to hold on to this, to harbor such energies within yourself, to be so hard on yourself, and learning to move and shift your energy so that you can start to, thrive in different areas of your life, using the opposite of the negative of the emotion, and use that essence of what's on the other side of that emotion. What can I tap into? What can inspire me? What will give me the courage? What will give me the strength that I need to do the things that I need to do? Yeah, that's what we got. All right. So this is my book. This is My Truth of Existing Beyond the Reflection. This one is available on Amazon, as is More Than Existing. Myself and Lisa are really working on the oracle cards. I have so much. I can't wait for you to see the new backs on the oracle cards. Oh. This is a printout of the booklet. So this is a printout of the booklet and the editing of the booklet. And so we are in all of these final stages of everything happening, all things taking place. So we have a printing company, we have all of those things. So we hope soon. I don't give any dates of anything because everything is out of my control. I have learned that in life, and just trusting. But I can't wait for you to see the new backs on them and some of the new cards that are in there. We have one card changed drastically, got a whole new look. And also this coming Sunday, I have a new program starting. There's a new program called Leveling Up. It is one of the Sundays of the Sunday morning soul revivals of the Divine Goddess Within. That class starts Sunday morning, and that is in mteacademy.ca. So it's in More Than Existing Academy of Higher Consciousness. And then there's all kinds of other courses and stuff in there as well that you can take that are pre-recorded. And then Lisa also has some human design stuff coming up. If you have never done your human design work, I suggest you do. Your human design and your natal chart or your natal chart are so important to being able to help you, to know you. And then, of course, we have some more than existing stuff that's also coming up and happening. So, so thank you. I just want to read these last few comments. Haven't been on Facebook in so long, so happy to pop in and see you. Oh, thank you. And I'm so happy to, I feel like I'm like sitting in the same room with you tonight. I don't know why, Danielle. maybe there's a gathering coming up. Sitting with the Goddess tomorrow. Sneak peek will be on the website. Oh, so there will be a sneak peek of the backgrounds coming up on the website of the new look of the background of the back of the oracle cards. That's going to be coming onto the website. And you can also go on my website every day and choose yourself a card. If you go to CorrieThorne.com, every day you can go over, you can flip yourself a card and it'll take you to a TikTok video that gives you a message on the website. So if you go to CorrieThorne.com, Corrie, Thorne.com, you can check out the messages and it will give you a message that comes up on TikTok just for you. Yeah. Kevin, when I went to fuel up the truck tonight, I seen the person who ran me over on the highway. Something inside of me said, say hi, and release the old anger inside. And it was so amazing to release. Oh, Kevin, that is so amazing. Maybe that's why you came up. Maybe that's why when I was working with that alien energy, with the beings energy, maybe that's why. Maybe you were preparing. Maybe they're working with you. Oh, I'm so happy for you. It is a big release. It's a huge release. So yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for being with me tonight. Thank you for always being with me. You can always, there's stars now on the Facebook page. You can donate stars. You can also make a donation to for the videos, for helping me to be able to keep doing what I do. On the PayPal link, which is on YouTube, and it's also on the Facebook page as well. All of this work takes a lot of time, and I love to do it, and I love to be able to share this, but it also means that I don't work one-on-one as much as I used to. So because I spend more time doing a lot of this free content. So that's also there for you. One last thing. You can actually purchase emailed readings now. So you can get a video emailed reading sent to you to your email address, and you can purchase those as well through my booking system, a 2, 3, or 5 card reading that you will receive, but do read the details in the comments about it and about when to expect to receive it. So you can purchase those as well. They're new, and I am trying it out for a month and see how that works. So yeah. So much love. Have a beautiful night and a beautiful next few days. And remember, get out of your way, ask for guidance, and allow in this beautiful love and this beautiful energy that is waiting. I love those. Yay. I love those too. They're so amazing. So thank you. Thank you. Beautiful night. Mwah. And I will see you later. Thank you to everyone buying my book. Bye-bye.